Hey YouTubers, good morning, it's Rob Muffet. Guys, I want to do some more videos on personal finance. I've been doing a few of these and I enjoy them a lot, and I think they're really important. I was watching a little video the other day with Kevin O'Leary. He was talking about how there's 100 million Americans have nothing saved for retirement. That's frightening. And he says, and I agree with him, well, I think one of the main reasons why is nobody as a child or a student is taught personal finance. So they're like fish in a barrel. When they leave school, they have no idea about anything to do with finance or saving money, or they're just totally clueless, like I was when I graduated. And I think that's one of the main reasons. So what I thought I would do today is go over something that was written by Scott Adams, who's the creator of Dilbert. I enjoy watching Scott Adams. He has a show on YouTube every day. It's Coffee with Scott Adams. Either you like him or you hate him. But he's written some excellent things. And one thing he did back in 2008, he wrote a one-page financial guide. He said he wanted to make it into a book, but he couldn't find anybody who would publish it because just one page, because he was so sick and tired of reading books, book after book after book on personal finance was basically the same thing. He said there was an entire industry back in the 1990s to 2000, early 2000, of people just publishing books and going on TV and having shows. Now they're on YouTube. He said basically you could put everything you really need to know on personal finance on one page. And that's what he did. And this is what he wrote. Now, some of this is debatable. Some of this has changed a little bit because this was published, I think, back on a blog, from his book, I think, The Way of the Weasel, in 2007 or so. And even he, I think, has made some changes to his portfolio, but that's also because he's got millions of dollars. You invest differently when you have millions of dollars than when you have peanut butter and jelly like I do. Let's go over real quick. Just 9 things, and keep an open mind. He said, number 1, make a will. 2, pay off your credit cards. We'll go over them when I finish reading. Get term life insurance if you have family support. Fund your 401k to the max. Fund your IRA to the max. Buy a house if you want to live in a house and can afford it. Put 6 months expenses in a money market account. Take whatever money is left over, invest in 70% in a stock index and 30% in a bond fund through any discount broker, and never touch it until retirement. Never touch it until retirement. Number 9, if any of this confuses you, or if you have something special going on, such as retirement, college planning, a tax issue, hire a fee-based financial planner, not one who charges a percentage of your portfolio. Let's start right here. The reason I think he says, I'm guessing, is you want a fee-based financial planner because that's a fiduciary. That's someone who is by law is legally required to have your best interest in mind. Where if someone who is not a fiduciary, they could be wanting to pay off their plumbing bill or send their kids to college and they see you walking through the door. So if you need financial planning, it's best to have a fiduciary, someone who has your best interest at heart, wouldn't you think? Yeah, so start at the top again, make a will. So many people don't have a will. I have one, and it's one I made myself, but things have changed, and I probably need to get one that might be less simple. So, but if you have, I can't give you personal financial advice. This is just my opinion on what I would do. But I think as time changes, if you have more complicated issues, it might be better off to have a lawyer make a simple will, and those can be expensive even though they are simple. But you pay for what you get. But if very simple will, oftentimes you can just get those NOLO press things in the books, and you can have them notarized and so on. Your state will vary. Check it out. The internet is wonderful in this area. Pay off your credit cards. I don't know too many cases where it's not a good idea to pay off your credit cards. If you're, let's say you're having an expense, you're starting a company and you can't get financing, or you're making a movie, you use your credit card. There's reasons sometimes to use your credit cards, but in general, pay off. Yeah, good advice. Get term life insurance. If you don't know a term life insurance, that's a life insurance for a specific term. It's not whole life insurance, and it's not worth anything unless someone dies. You can't. It's not an investment. It's not something you can get money from the insurance company unless somebody dies. And then, so oftentimes people say term life insurance is the least expensive way to go. And he does modify. It says if you have a family to support. So that's something to take into consideration. I'm not an expert in insurance, or actually anything here. I'm just giving my opinion. Fund your 401k and your IRA to the max. I think maybe not next week, but soon I'll do a video on the mistakes I've made financially, and I don't want to make this video very long. I can spend a long time talking to you about these two mistakes I've made. Buy a house if you want to live in a house and can afford it. That's really a really hot issue, because for years and years people said real estate always goes up. I mean, I remember people talking to me back in 2007, 2006. The real estate market went insane. People had they were making $15 an hour, $12 an hour, them and their wife or spouse, and they were buying houses worth $300,000, and they had loans that were only covering the interest. So they're every month they were only paying a tiny amount, because it wasn't, they really weren't paying it back. They were just paying on the interest, not even the principal. It was insane time, and then the market went south, and so many people lost everything. So houses do go up and down. You don't always make a better deal by buying, but years ago there was a general rule, like you wouldn't buy a house more than twice what your yearly salary was, and so long as you were out of debt. That was very conservative. People, I think usually by the time you add up all the expenses you had for the house and then your taxes and so on, you don't usually make money on houses when you buy them. What they do is they keep even with inflation. But in some cases, some areas, people have made, that's how they made their money. Put 6 months' expenses in a money market account. You know, now, I think he wrote this 2007, 2008. There still was interest to be had in a money market account. Now it's like practically zero, but it would be insured. You would be able to get it back if something happened, but it's basically you're just parking it there someplace, and it's insured. You're hardly getting anything from a money market account. Take whatever money is left over and invest 70% in a stock index fund and 30% in a bond fund. Here again, bond funds. Back when he wrote this, people were getting municipal bonds, and they were getting 3%, 4% in interest a month tax-free. And that's changed the bonds. Also, people are so nervous now about some of the municipal bonds for cities where they may go under. You never know what's going to happen. The retirement situation in cities for the workers has gone insane. So but still, I think 70% in stock index and 30% in a bond fund. If you had the right bond fund, that would be something that might. I'm still nervous about the bond fund. I'm nervous about the stock funds too, but still, you might have some hope. And it finally says, and if everything confuses you here, to hire someone. So that's good advice. So basically, he's given a lot of good advice that so many people, the wills, not paying off the credit cards, not having the right insurance, not going max the 401, not having expenses. But put 6 months expenses. Now, if you're a human being, you have to eat every day. It's an excellent idea to put some of that money for 6 months into food, but can last. Most cans last like a couple years, so you could easily put a lot of that 6 months into your food stock in your larder in your house, your apartment, whatever. Put stuff under your bed if you have to. That would be actually making more money than the money market account probably, and it's something you're going to use. And it's comfortable to look at a larder, have a lot of food. I really enjoy having that set aside. So this is what Scott Adams, the writer of Dilbert, wrote, and he said that basically all the books that were out there could be distilled down and summed up to 9 different things. And now you can argue a little bit this side, a little bit that side on each of these issues. They're basically, this is a very good foundation for financial wisdom, personal finance, if you ask me. I know so many people got in debt on credit cards, and it's just like a quicksand. They never got out alive. They just ate them alive. They had to go into bankruptcy and messed up everything and ruined marriages, and it's so easy. And when you're young, they give you credit cards. You go to college and you got somebody standing on the corner pushing you to get a credit card. It's like, it's just, you feel like you want to be an adult. You get a credit card pretty soon, you're going crazy, and now you're in a hole. Your youngest part of your adult life, when you're a teenager, you go to college, and now you're being asked to make decisions that are going to affect you the rest of your life on the things you're studying and how you're paying them off. And like, they need to teach kids financial, personal finance, early ages, 13, 14, 15, before they get out in the real world and the squids come for them and just suck them dry. Because we've got 100 million people, nothing safe for retirement. So this is actually some excellent advice, even though some of it is a little bit dated. It's still excellent foundation. I'm going to continue doing these videos. There's some other people who have distilled a lot of financial wisdom into really short, pithy things that you can just put on an index card. And I'm also going to be doing a video of all the mistakes that I can admit to in public, financial-wise, in a future video. I enjoy these videos on personal finance. I hope that's something you find useful. And check out Scott Adams. I'll leave a link to his podcast he has on YouTube every day. And feel free to leave in your opinions in the comments about personal finance that could be helpful to other people, to give people more nuggets of wisdom. Because there's a lot of things left out here, like people are going to say, what about health insurance? What about long-term health insurance? What about this? What about that? But this is just a foundation. There's always extra stuff you can add. There's things that can be changed a little bit. But this is a very good beginning. And like he said, there was a whole industry on personal finance back in 2000 or 1990s. And it's like he said, you could basically put it all down on one page. And I think he's kind of right. Because if you were to purchase a lot of stocks and jump in and out of your stocks, that's how a lot of people never get ahead investing in the market. I'm going to talk about doing that when I go over my video about all the mistakes I've made. We'll talk about the mistakes people make, because I'm not an expert in making money or in good finance, but I am an expert in in making bad financial mistakes that you might learn from my errors. All right, guys, this was something that was fun for me to do. Hope it was something helpful to you, and I'm really looking forward to you leaving your comments about personal finance and things that might help people, because we got to do something. 100 million people, nothing saved. That's frightening. All right, guys. As the English say, keep your pecker up. Take care. And don't forget, I put on new videos every week. Been doing it for 13 years. Got over 900 videos. A bunch of cool people I feature on my channel. No relation to me. They would deny it anyway. And a bunch of cool playlists on different subjects. And I do it every week because I cannot help myself. I am addicted. All right, guys. Take care. See you out there.